Hi, this is John, and I'm in Imphrick graveyard, small rural graveyard alongside the main road between Charleville and Buttevant. There's a railway cottage over there because there's a railway crossing point, a gated crossing point there, and the railway line is just over that boundary there. And I'm inside the graveyard, and you can see the sun came down, or the snow came down, so it's looking quite nice. Very small graveyard, small, rectangular, earthen banks with stone cladding on some of the faces anyway, and I think the stone cladding is fairly recent. It's on the outside because they use railway sleepers as part of that. Most of the 20th century usage is here down in this end, on this east end. There's a ground vault here, this feature with the chest tomb on top. That's indicating that there's a vaulted chamber underneath, and that's the burial. Those hard, they were deliberately walled burial features, and with a walled burial feature under Irish legislation, you could reuse it at any interval that you want, whereas an earth cut grave had limitations on how often you could use it by decency, and then after the 1870s by law. But here we are south of the graveyard. Interesting that there seems to be a path dug in. We've seen that in some other counties, and that's usually a later kind of that's 1930s, 1940s, 1950s. But I don't know what that is there. It looks to me like it's augmenting that bank, alright. And then here in the southern part of the graveyard, where most of the headstones should be, there's only a small number. What indicates to me is that the local community aren't squeezing in here. Oh, here's the train. It's heading for Mallow now. Probably that's the Dublin train heading down from Mallow, and then to Cork after that. So the local community aren't squeezing in here, is that they're respecting the graves that are formerly there without anybody telling them to. So the ruined church is badly covered by ivy, and it's been fenced off with Harris fencing, so it's hard to get in. I am inclined to get in though, because just in here on the other side of the fence, I think, is the oldest headstone, and that's for a Julian Murphy from 1783. We might just go in there and have a quick look. Now, okay, that's the north wall. This east gable is collapsed, and then we come in here and just have a look and see, is this the Julian Murphy stone? IHS, Lord have mercy on the soul of Julian Murphy, who departed this life. Just push down the grass. 1783. It looked like a 5 first, but there's an 83. So the ruined church here, nice tall gable, maybe indicating the steep pitch, steep enough for a thatch roof. What's this one? Just out of curiosity to have a look. Timothy Sullivan. Okay, IHS, a winged head here, unusual on a border. Nice early one, I'd say, 1805. So 1783 over there and 1805 here for Sullivans. I'm laughing because my wife Martha, who works on this project, her people have a rake of Timothy Sullivans in it as well, including one of our lads is called Tim. Yeah, I'd seen this before. Morris Sargent of Ballyhay. We've come across Sargent on a survey up in Kildare, and they're an old family where the name derives from when it was a rank in the later medieval landholding system. So if 1783 is there and 1805 is there, usually what we take from that is once the church is deconsecrated, the local community will move in and start burying their people in the interior. So what's the oldest stone, 1783, so we'd reckon then that deconsecration happened before then, and then you're looking at historical research to help you really answer that one in detail. So I wonder if the fence will ever come down. It doesn't look like it will take a lot of work. I suppose the eye view would have to be stripped off. There is a fund for that now called the Community Monument Fund. It's a great fund. So maybe this will be on the County Council's list for taking in hand. And just hold on there now. So there's the back end of that ground vault as well. So this project is part of the Community Heritage Training Project that we ran for Ballyhowra Development CLG, and funded by the Department of Rural and Community Development, and accommodated and aid provided by Cork County Council and Limerick County Council. Lovely spot. You're looking down into County Cork there, down towards Buttevant. And like I said yesterday, a lovely place to be buried. A hard place to get a coffin into in the modern era, but I don't think there's too many coming in nowadays. Okay, I'll leave it there. Slán.